A very warm welcome to the Torwo Arena here in Warsaw, Poland. Day 4 of the European Figure Skating Championships 2007. Tonight, the third medals of these championships will be awarded. It's the ice dance competition, and the conclusion here, the final stage, the free dance. And we are in group number 2. We've had group number 1. There's a warm-up on the ice at the moment, but before we go there, we're going to join Gwendol, who's talking to Alexei Mishin.
Mr. Mishin, we have a lot of questions about Evgeny Plushenko. Do you have some updates on what he's doing now?
His life now has many different directions. In the first direction, he's still thinking about coming back to the amateur career. This is the first direction. We are looking to the short program and about new blades, everything nearly like that. This is one direction of his way of thinking. Another one, he still skates in different shows, like actor. And some of these numbers I like very much, some of them not too much, but basically he still gets very high level of popularity. The direction number 3, he started to do completely new job for him. He's a presentator of different ice show, and not only ice show. In the future we will see new show like battle between Ukraine team and Russian team in different events, like former Olympic champions in different kind of sports are taking part in this show, and he is moderator, something like that. This is another way. But what I like to tell you something completely new for him. He becomes a politician.
So there you heard it from Mr. Mishin, all the new directions for Evgeny Plushenko. Fascinating stuff. We're going to have to take a quick break before we start this second group. Stay with us here on Eurosport. Welcome back. You join us, the warm-up for the second group here in the free dance. Very warm welcome to viewers on British Eurosport who just joined us. It's the free dance, the final stage of the ice dance competition, and we've still got 4 groups to go. You just missed 4 teams, and I can tell you that the standings at the moment, it's Nagy and Elik from Hungary leading, then the Poles, then the Swiss, and in 4th place, after the 4 that we've had, it's Philip Ataula Green and Philip Poole. But all those teams in the same order as they were going into this free dance, so we've had no change at the moment. The other bit of news I've got for you as well is that Attila Elik, the Hungarians who skated with Nora Hoffman, they were lying in 7th place. He had an awful fall this morning and unfortunately broke his ankle while practicing. It was pretty horrific, and so obviously they've had to withdraw. So all of our thoughts going to Attila at this time and Nora, and we wish him a speedy recovery. So here we go to get us underway in this second group. They're lying in 18th place. They were 20th in the compulsory dance, did much, much better in the original, pulled them up a couple of places. 15th they were in the original dance, representing Estonia in the European Championships for their very first time. So it's all about experience for these two. It's 18-year-old Greta Grunberg and 19-year-old Christian Rand.
Gentle start, matching the music, circular step sequence all the time, looking to get deep edges, staying in dance hold at all times.
What's going on, Nicky? There's commentators all around us that have really got into this music.
They're not dancing as well as those on the ice, though.
Absolutely.
Not far off. I was joking. Four lifts. Two of those lasting up to 6 seconds, two of those up to 10 seconds. The physicality now required, particularly by the men, much more than it was when I was skating, that's for sure. And the coaches stand with stopwatches, and they have to mark it absolutely to the timing, otherwise the technical specialist will call them out. Every practice there's technical specialists at, and there'll be one watching the girl on the step sequence, there'll be one watching the boy, making sure of every movement. Diagonal step sequence, not a lot of speed over the ice. One of the featured elements we always talk about now, twizzles being a feature of ice dancing. And one spin within the routine as a required element.
Super. Well, they enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it too. These two, 3 times the national champions of Estonia, and on the international scene, very much still a junior couple. Competed in the Junior Grand Prix finals in Sofia end of last year, where they finished in 5th place, but they were 2nd in The Hague, and in the spin of Norway, they actually won the gold medal. These two, the first Estonian ice dancers to have medalled at an ISU Junior Grand Prix when they got the bronze medal in the Tallinn Cup a couple of years ago. So they've done a fabulous job here.
It was a very good program. Now, though, you can really tell the difference in the levels. It's the speed, it's the power of the edges, and the top couples have such sharpness about them that when you see a low-level couple, they're doing the elements, and this is a very nice program to watch. If you saw it, you're at a local ice rink and you saw people skating doing this, you'd think, wow, that's fantastic. But the difference in power and the difference in ice coverage and sharpness of movements between this and the top couples is phenomenal.
It's absolutely evident, isn't it, when you actually watch the training sessions.
Yes.
And you've got the variety of standard out there. You can compare them like for like, can't you?
You can, and it is this. I mean, that lift. It's difficult. He's got the balance point right, but going backwards, I've said it before, it's easier to do it going backwards because it's safer. If you're going forwards, there's no safety net if your toe catches. So it's less difficult. So he won't get a high level for that. And you're always looking to do something that's innovative. Here's the twizzle section. Now these forward insides, easier for me than outsides, than forward outsides. Now they're doing back outsides. Again, they're not too difficult to do it that way. And they need to be totally aligned. And the faster over the ice you're doing, the faster you're doing those, the more difficult it is. So if you do them going slowly and you're turning slowly, that makes it easier. And
Actually, I find the left back outside twizzle quite difficult.
do you?
Well, it's harder than the right one.
It is harder than the right one, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not as hard as, I think, left, forward, outside for me is the hardest.
Okay.
People at home, if you want to just stand up in your living room, stand on your left foot and turn around that way. But
me,
there's
that would
four
be
types
easier
of
because
twizzles:
that's the way we
inside,
spin.
inside or outside, forward or backwards. And the number of turns you do also impacts on the level of difficulty on that section of it.
Well, the mark's coming up now, and these two into the lead at this stage. The Estonians doing well, 71.23 their segment score, and that's a new personal best for them, so a good job done.
It was a good skate.
Very, very well done. It's all smiles and the kiss and cry for Greta and Christian. And these two, in fact, coached by Lee Rand, who's Christian's mum. So well done to her. Igor Spielband as well, part of the coaching team. So we move on now to the couple lying in 17th place. 17th in the compulsory dance, and dropped a place in the original, but they had enough margin to hang on in there. So 17th they are going into this free dance for Austria. Just got a shot of the coaching team there, Miro Zazui and Jana Hubler on the coaching staff. Saturday Night Fever, the music, this should be fun. Barbara Silner and Dmitry Matsyuk.
Just getting out of line on the twizzles. Good start, nice change of direction. The choreography matched them up, those twizzles, by the end of the sequence. The judges looking at the difficulty of position for the lady and for the man in each lift. More difficult when you're down in the teapot position like that, particularly on one foot, than if you just stood up on 2 feet carrying the lady along. Serpentine step sequence going across and back on the ice rink. Looking at the content, deep edges. And you see not complete alignment on some of those turns. Has to be inch perfect. And the rules very, very detailed indeed, but allowing you to stop for up to 5 seconds. And that's a good way of changing the feeling of the music. So harder going forwards. That one of the long lifts. a change of position in the spin to increase the technical difficulty. It's not flowing out of that spin as easily as it could. Quite a lot of Killian holding, side-by-side hold, which is easier than being in dance hold. See again, side-by-side position, staying in that Killian hold. Now we're into dance hold. Diagonal step sequence. Well, very good energy.
I was going to say, loads of energy there. Absolutely. Giving it the max here in Warsaw. And I can tell you it's a packed crowd. Nikki, how important is it to choose a bit of music that the crowd can get behind? Does that really help the performance?
I think it sometimes it can. Mostly it does. It's whether the music fits the couple as well. That's so important. What they were doing there was fun. It was light. They really were putting a lot of effort and energy into it. At times it was just a little ragged. You see it's out of alignment on that twizzle sequence. Some of the movements between elements, and even when they were skating together, just a little ragged. And what I mean is that there's not complete alignment of the arms, of the legs at all times. So that's what they'll be looking to develop. And you see his hand is not allowed to be above his head in the lift, and he's down in the teapot position. I don't know how they got to that one. You know, the ice dancers coming up with some amazing positions now. We did have a couple of seasons where they were doing the upside down position for the girl, which was not attractive. And that, again, more difficult going forward. See, look at his toe rate. Look at his toe. If that catches, no, she's straight on her face. There's no way he can stop it. So you need strength and you need balance.
So going back to that previous lift, was that illegal because the arm was on the leg?
I think,
and above his head?
I don't think it was above his head when he let go of the other one. It was close, but he let go. It didn't look to me like it was above his head. It's not. You're not allowed to have. You think it was?
Certainly when he was in the teapot position, his hand was way above his head. It was on her thigh, which was up in the air.
Up in the air?
Oh, it's on her calf, wasn't it?
Well, I thought you weren't allowed to have your hands above your head.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens on the scoreboard here when the marks come up, but some interesting moves, certainly in the program.
Yeah, there's 8 required elements, 4 lifts, 2 step sequences, 1 spin, and of course those infamous synchronized twizzles that you probably have bad dreams about sometimes if you're an ice dancer, because they take on this perspective of being so very difficult to do. But you see there, you know, the alignment of the legs is not quite right. Even on the changing of the steps, it's just a little ragged, and they'll be working on that day in, day out. And as they get closer together in everything they do, it'll become tighter and tighter.
Just to remind you, these two go in 17th place into this free dance.
I really like their energy and attack, you know, the way they went for the program right the way through, and the choice of music I think worked for them.
Good. Well, let's see if the judges go along with that. They will want to be in the lead once the marks come up. And in fact they're not. It's 59.92, their total marks.
So that first lift got a 0. So it may be...
But that was illegal.
Maybe it was illegal and they just took it out of the equation.
So second place it is overall. And they really have been dropped like a stone in the free dance. I think they're 6th on the free dance. So 6th on the evening, but it's 2nd overall. And there's a look of dismay in the kiss and cry on the faces of the coaching staff there. So Not good news for Barbara and Dmitry. So now on the ice from Lithuania, lying in 20th place overall. They were 21st in the compulsories, pulled up a place on the original. This is Catherine Kopeli and Davidas Stagnianos. And very popular piece of Russian folk music for us, Kalinka.
Well, it's an oldie but a goodie for every crowd anywhere in the world.
That's what people say about you.
At least they say goodie. And they're going slow over the ice in order to emphasize each of the edges and also give them time on the circle to get content in. I think they could have gone a bit faster than that myself. Ooh, that was the twizzles, and it just shows how difficult it can be if you get out of alignment on them. Combination spin, not a lot of speed. Of course, remember that it's not just the elements you do, it's how you do them that the judge is looking for. The number of rotations, the difficulty of the positions, as well as how it interprets the music. Change of position in the lift, adding to the difficulty level. A little wobbly on the forward part of that. Diagonal step sequence, staying on one foot, almost stopping. When you stay on one foot, it makes it more difficult to do each turn, but very, very gentle and slow over the ice. It's got more speed, the straight line sequence.
Well, there's plenty of character in there. love the interpretation. You're right, Nikki. It was slow from time to time. They've really got to work on their basic skating skills. A good session of power pulls would do them good, I think. But on the whole, good performance. Catherine Kopeli, Devedas Stagnianos for Lithuania, a pair that have only been together, well, less than a year, so not a bad effort at all.
Not a bad effort. It was a good choice of music. I'm reminded of Andrei Bukin and Natalia Bestiminova, because Andrei did that. He had such power. If you're going to do that sort of dancing, you need to really give it large, give it as huge as you can out to the crowd. And Devedas has not quite got that yet. They've only been together a year, so it'll develop. They might even choose to keep this routine for a year, because there's a lot of good points within it, but maybe a lot farther it can go for them. Sometimes you wonder how the ice dancers make up these positions for the lifts, and when it doesn't go quite right, there must be a bit of a moaning moment. But they're all working, they're all watching each other, trying to come up with something innovative. And all the time the coach is there with the stopwatches as well.
It's interesting with these slow-mos, you can see even the free leg positions there, not the same.
Now watch, he just gets his weight back a little bit. He's watching her, but he over-rotates, bangs into her almost, and she covers it up well, pulls off a little early.
You should just put those twizzles into perspective. While you're actually turning, you have to move the body weight backwards and forwards on the skate, don't you? Because the back turn's done on the back of the skate, the front turn's done on the front of the skate. So not only are you using edges, you're actually changing your weight throughout the turn.
When I try and do them, I don't think about that.
That's what's happening.
Ah.
There's a lot going on in a twizzle.
A lot going on in a twizzle.
There is. Some good lifts, good presentation. A nice chemistry between the couple, I thought. They worked together well.
They worked together well. They could have worked together more. The eye contact between the couple. So, I'm not disagreeing with you, really. I'm just adding to what you said. Give me a look.
I'm getting used to it now. Most people disagree with what I say.
No.
No, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Thought the costume worked well with the program. You've had a lot to say about costumes. How did you feel about that one?
I thought it fitted to the music, fits to the theme.
That's praise indeed, I tell you. Thumbs up from Nikki Slater. That can't be bad. So 65-62, their free dance score. That gives them a total of 124.53. And second place, second on the night, and second overall, I think it is, for Catherine and Devedas. It's all smiles. They're pleased with that. Well done. So lying in 16th place. They've been 16th in each of the two sections that we've had so far. Representing Germany, it's Nelly Ziganshina and Alexander Gazzi. Another couple, first time in the European Championships, and in fact it's their first international competition. So 16th place, very creditable indeed. Their music is part of Summertime Blues, and it's entitled It's Jazz Time.
One information for you British commentators. I talked to Richard in London. Jazz time.
Oh, good start. Very sharp. circular step sequence. Looking at having difficult changes of edges, rockers, counters. More difficult when you stay in dance hold than when you just leave go to change. A very good start. The outfits work. They've fitted the flavour of the music from the start. And I prefer to do the forward lift with my foot behind me rather than in front. Makes it even more scary if it goes wrong and you get your weight back on the lift. So courageous. There's the spin. Let's have a change of position. Oh. And another, increasing the level of difficulty. Good transition. Change of edge in the spread. Not a lot of difficulty in the diagonal.
A lot of fun. Nelly and Alexander, well done. Well, if you're regular viewers to Eurosport, you may be wondering where the last year's German champions are, Christina and William Bayer. Well, they're not here because Christina still suffering from a serious foot injury. Hasn't trained since last June, so we wish you a speedy recovery if you're watching us here on Eurosport. So these two, the newly crowned national champions, and almost didn't make it here because they had problems with a visa. In fact, Nelly had the wrong visa in her passport and couldn't get to Poland. They had to spend a night in the airport. So it's not been an easy run for them, but they're here. They've skated well and had a great time.
They did skate very well. The first 2/3 of the program I thought were very good indeed. The last third just lost a little bit. They were still dynamic, they were still pushing, but it was a bit easier on the step sequence. But the start in particular, I do like the outfits. I like the gloves.
Well, that's good.
Works.
2 in a row.
You were winding me up before. I thought you were having a go. Get neurotic now.
What do you mean getting?
Now look, he puts his foot forward. Gosh, if you lean back, you just catch something and you've got no chance. Dear me, that's very dangerous if it goes wrong. He's strong. Well, I wouldn't dare think about it. It's if you've got your foot behind, you know what it's like if you're standing on the one foot lifting up a girl and your foot's behind you.
No, I don't go around lifting up girls.
Yeah, good. Ah, good. Okay.
I skate on my own. I can't get anybody to skate with me.
It's more difficult skating with somebody because you're always doing it wrong, you see.
Yeah, that's right.
The other person telling you that you're doing it wrong.
I can make it up as I'm going along.
Yes, and change it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she sold it well.
She certainly did. 16th place, remember, going into this. It's a very creditable score for them.
I love the start, the way they capture captured the music, and the way it changed to the spin was good. And the step sequence, circular step sequence was good.
So some high levels there.
They were working the edges a lot.
Very, very good.
And when they did, so 1, 2, 3, 4 level 4s in there.
Yeah, 2 of them on the lifts. They got level 4s on both of the lifts. Level 3 on the serpentine lift. It's good stuff overall. 133.20. Second place it is for the Germans. They may well have dropped a place here. In fact, they have. The Estonians finishing ahead of them. Lithuanians just behind. And the Austrians continue to drop like a stone. So we've got one more couple in this group. And there they are from the Czech Republic. Currently in 19th place. Another couple, they've been 19th in each of the 2 sections so far, 19th overall, and that's where they finished in the European Championships last year. From the Czech Republic, Kamila Hakova and David Vinkor. Don't have to tell you the title of this one, do I?
Bit of a sing while you're having a dance? Why not? So the missing for me here is they're not dancing together, they're dancing side by side right the way through this. The relationship of the couple looking at each other and dancing together. That's one of the first times I've seen it, and for me it takes away from the overall effect. It's like they're doing a side by side dance, and when you dance with a girl you look at her. Let's see, there might be a bit more now. Twizzles. Just a little ragged for me.
Well, I love the concept. And I take your point, Nikki. It was almost as if they were sort of skating on their own.
Yeah, I wondered. Yeah, it's easy to sit and be critical rather than, you know, reflecting what's good. But you know, they've got the ability to dance together. But the choreography and the way it was put together was that, you know, he was doing a lot of presenting to the judges. She was too. But for this type of music with a bit of a jive content in it, you know, and there was a lot of that. There was a lot of him doing the maybe I'm Elvis or whatever it is to the judges. But a bit more dancing with her would have really helped. And when it's slightly out of alignment too, not quite as sharp as it could be, yeah, that's something missing. So I'm afraid that what happens for me is as I see that start off, and then I'm looking for it all the way through, and I'm looking for, you know, how are we going to be dancing together? And we're looking separate ways all the time. So it's, you know, it doesn't kind of gel with me as a whole piece. And yet I think the music's great. You know, you could really capture the crowd with that. And there's a time in that where he's going to the crowd, come on, lifting his hands, come on, you know, applaud me. Well, it's like, well, we will if you've got the rhythm and you're dancing to the music with a bit more obvious power. But we're never looking at each other. So that really makes a difference in a dance like this. If you ever see people doing a jive, doing the old-fashioned rock and roll dancing, you'll be looking at the girl, then you look away a bit and you spin around you and all that. They weren't doing that as an overall concept here, I know that, but just didn't come over because of that.
Okay, well, let's see what the judges have to say. 9th place they were in the NHK Trophy and 10th in Skate Canada this year. Competed in the Carl Schaefer as well, where they finished in 6th place. Been working with Martin Scott Nicky this year. He knows a thing about choreography and coming up with something a little different. Technical elements, 39.20, 26.84. So that gives them a total of 66.04 and a ranking of 3rd place. So, 3rd it is.
Rostislav's not going to speak to me now. He'll probably whack me one in the bar. What are you saying about my couple?
So just below their personal best, but it's 3rd place for Camilla and David at this stage. Well, we've had 2 groups so far. We've got 3 groups to go. Of course, all the medal contenders going in the final group, but some really good ice dancing coming up. And plenty more to show you through the commercial break. We've got the continuing story of the life of Brian Joubert. Of course, we've been following him all week, and we've got some highlights from the short program of the women, which took place earlier today. If you were with us earlier, 38 women taking part, 24 have made it through to the short program, but it was a very interesting competition. So, situation now, we've got ice reservice, but let's take an opportunity to go and talk to Nelly and Alexander, the German couple.
Wie ist dein persönliches Rückblick auf die Woche? Die Woche war lang.
So Hendrik Schamberger down there saying the championships are over for you now. What are your thoughts about the week? And they say it's been a long week, a hard week. We're glad it's over, and we've enjoyed it. And that's pretty much all I can say at the moment. Hendrik says, if you look at the Golden Waltz, the tango, and now the free program, which one did you enjoy the most? She says, I really enjoyed everything. I just love dancing. First of all, I'm really, really happy. Well, there's no decision been made who's going to the World Championships for Germany yet, so how do you prepare over the next few weeks to make that happen? He says he'll do whatever he needs to do to make it happen. So we wish them luck. Time for us to take a break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, the Zamboni's out on the ice doing its stuff, and you're looking at some slow-mo shots from earlier on in the groups. We've got 3 groups to go, and a chance now to look at the story of the ice dance competition so far.
Well, in this post-Olympic season, all of last year's medalists in ice dancing have since retired, and it may fight really for a pretty new hierarchy. Starting on Tuesday with the waltz in the compulsory dance, when the French dancers Isabelle Delobel and Olivier Schoenfelder took the lead ahead of the Russians Oksana Domnina and Maxim Shabalin, and the world champions, the favorites Albena Denkova and Maxim Stavisky. Seeing here, the 3 leaders separated by just 1 point. So on to the original dance yesterday afternoon. It was all about the tango, and this, the performance of Denkova and Stavisky. Watch the footwork. Maxim made a little mistake on a twizzle, and Albena, well, she tapped the board at the side of the ice once, and that spoiled an otherwise lovely routine. They got 38.56 in the compulsory, this time in the original 56.56, a cumulative score of 95.12. It gave them only 3rd place, and they were upset by some of the marking too. Well, above them after the first dance, the young Russians, Domnina and Shabalin. And with their 59.78 in the original dance, they maintained their overall 2nd position, a total of 98.77 for them up to this point. Dance to tango music. Oksana Domnina and Maxim Shabalin, the young Russians, their score 98.77 after the compulsory and the original, and barring disaster, it'll be their first international medal at the end of this evening. They're 12 points ahead of the Italians, Faella and Scali in 4th place. So great applause for the Russians, but what about the leaders? Isabelle Delobel and Olivier Schoenfelder of France. Now, this couple have a bad habit of finishing fourth twice at the Europeans, once at the Worlds, once at the Olympics, and even at the Grand Prix final this season. They have won one European medal. That was in Turin in 2005. It was the bronze. This time in Warsaw, they are clearly looking for the title. Delobel and Schoenfelder of France interpreting the Tango Volva of Maxime Rodriguez without a mistake and extending their lead, an overall score of 100.28. But it's still only 1.5 points ahead of Domnina and Chavelin and just 5 ahead of the world champion. So anything can happen in the free dance. If they do become the champions, they'll be the first French to do it since our Eurosport interviewer, Gwendolyn Pesera, did it with Asanina in 2002. But can they do it? We'll find out during the course of this evening. Chris, 5 points ahead of the world champions. What do you think?
Yes, quite incredible. It's going to be a fantastic evening. I hope you can all stay with us here on Eurosport for the duration. The medal competition coming at the end of the evening. We're going to take a quick break. That's the situation here. We're ready for group. Welcome back. You join us live back here in the Torvor Arena. It's the third group in the ice dance competition, the free dance, the final stage. Medals decided tonight. We've got 3 more groups to go, and all the battle for the medals going in the final group. In the penultimate group, it'll be John and Sinead Kerr that lead us off. That's in about 40 minutes or so, but a chance to look back. Well, a few hours, the ladies' short program, and that was a very exciting competition indeed, I can tell you, and it's this young lady that leads the way. Fantastic performance. She was 4th in the European Championships last year, 6th in the Worlds, and 8th in Turin in the Winter Olympics, but she really has thrown down the gauntlet today with a masterful performance. Sit back and enjoy this. This is 22-year-old Sarah Meyer from Switzerland. So here she goes, setting up the combination. Triplets, double toe loop, flawless, beautiful speed coming out of that as well. Now, right from the off, she was just so full of confidence. Now coming in for the triple flip. Beautifully done. Setting up the last of the jumps now, the double axel, no problems at all. Fantastic performance from Sarah Meyer. One of the best that we've seen from her in a short program, and that performance good enough to give her 60.49, and she's just 3/100ths of a point ahead of last year's bronze medalist Karolina Kostner, and it's Elena Gedivanishvili for Georgia in third. So of course you can catch up with the ladies event tomorrow. 1:15 on British Eurosport is scheduled for, and 2:15 Central European time. That'll be the free program. Medals decided tomorrow afternoon. But we refocus now on the ice dance event, and the third group just finishing their warm-up. And the teams out here in places from 11th to 15. So to get us underway, this is the 10th couple of the event. It's the couple from Armenia, lying in 15th place. They had a bit of a rough time in the original, did well in the compulsories, but hanging on to 15th spot. They were 17th in the original. This is Anastasia Grebenkina and Vasyan Azroyan.
So if you have just joined us, the free dance, 4 minutes, 8 prescribed elements, 4 lifts, 2 step sequences, 1 spin and 1 set of synchronized twizzles. There's the spin. Well done. And the skater's always looking to get power with ease in the ice dancing, with lots of intricate footwork and deep edges on the various step sequences. This is a straight line lift. There's the twizzles. Well done, a lot of speed. Step sequences. You see they're staying on one foot for a long period of time, emphasizing the change of edges and the turns. The technical specialists analyze that both now and in the practices and evaluate how difficult it is. Then they tell the judges, and then the judges say how well it was done. The judges not looking for hardly any open holds like we just had. They're wanting to see dance holds and the couple close and working intricately rather than open like the pair skaters.
Well, real power there towards the end of the program from Anastasia and Vazian for Armenia. Well, they have done enough to hold that 15th spot. That'll be key for them. They won't want to slip back. They were 14th last year, 11th the year before.
It's interesting, Alexander Zulin is their coach, and his style was to be quite open for part of the time, building up speed, and they reflect that in part of their choreography. They're reflecting that, but I think the way the game has changed now is that's needed less. So when you're side by side and you're doing the forward crossovers to build up speed, or you're in open hold building up the speed, that's really not adding to your score very much at all. So in a way, but if you've always done that and that's your style, then you're liable to put that into your couple. But I think at times they were very open, and that wouldn't have got a lot of credibility and not credibility, but marks from the judges. But some good elements. I say things are ragged quite a bit, but at times, again, they're trying so hard, they're attacking it so much that it doesn't have the symmetry, it doesn't match with the line, and that can be very effective, but sometimes it can take away. He said on that lift there, he just put his arm up on the end of it to hold the position, but he didn't actually emphasize the arm line, and the arm wasn't lined up with the leg. And when we see the top couples, you'll see everything. When they hit a position in a lift, the arms and the legs, everything, boom, it's really strong. It hits the position very quickly. You'll see more power. That was good, the transition in the rotational lift, but you'll see faster turns and more power, and the girl's spinning out of the end of that. See, she comes out at the end of that, and it's not, he could flick around a little bit more and polish it. So that's the difference between where we are now and where we'll be, and they can develop that.
Well, there we are, a 2-minute lesson from Nikki Slater, and you'll be in the top group.
I just had a chat with Rostislav Sinitsyn, actually. We were talking about his couple earlier on, and he said, well, he's only had them since the summer, and he said all he's been doing is tightening up what they've done. I said, they need to look at each other more. He said, absolutely. They need to relate to each other, so he didn't hit me. That was good.
Oh, that is good.
That was good. He agreed. Slap foot.
Goodness me, I thought I might have been on my own for the rest of the season. That's good news. So these marks are good enough to put these two into second on the night, and first overall it is for Anastasia and Vazian. So perhaps a smile of relief there on the face of Alexander Zulin. Well, the place is absolutely packed. So on the ice now, a couple from the Ukraine. They started the competition in 10th place in the compulsory dance, dropped to 12th on the original, so looking to redeem themselves a little bit if they possibly can here. First time at Europeans. They were 21st in the World Championships last year. Skating to Stella Erens. This is Anna Zarudzyuk and Sergei Verbilo from the Ukraine.
Very different feel to this routine, but they're down in the knee, power in the movements, building up speed very quickly. very strong in the lift. Here's the twizzles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And good. More turns you do, the higher level of difficulty. Look at him working the edges. Down in the knee, pushing the ankle, staying on one foot, makes it more difficult to do the turns. And you're allowed to separate very briefly. Very effective coming back into the spin, which was well done. You can see him hit the position very fast. Changing edge on the spread, a lot of power and strength required to do a lift that quickly. This type of music with a strong rhythmic beat works now for the new rules. Here's the diagonal step sequence. It allows you to emphasize each edge. Not too fast. So you can do deeper edges. Watch them, they'll be open and do some back crosses into the next move. They do that a lot. I prefer it in dancehall.
Well, I love the music. Choice from Cirque du Soleil, and I felt that it suited their style. It was a pace they could cope with.
Very strong indeed, that as an overall routine, and maintaining the pace through the routine with that sort of music works for them. And because he's so down in the knee, and because they matched well, there was a pacing of it. You don't need to go too frenetic, you don't need to go too slow or too fast, but they maintained a good speed. There was a few moments where, for me, they were open, almost doing the pair skating side by side, but there's some powerful lifts in there. If we see the one after this, where he got into the spread eagle very quickly, and she was foot round his neck, but they hit the position very quickly indeed. And he's got power on the spins. Again, it has to be out in either 6 or 10 seconds. 6 the smaller lift, and 10 the longer lift, just 4 lifts allowed. Here's the twizzles, they were good. Backward outside for the second part. The judges look at it, you see they just got slightly out of alignment on the end, so the judges looking at that on their screens, they have it segmented, they'll have those twizzles, and they'll be able to look at them in super slow motion, see what level they were. Were they nothing? Were they +3 if they were great? Were they -3 if they weren't that great? And there was a good spin, just a separation before they got back into the spin. There he is getting into that lift. Oof. So fast. Bit of a battle almost. If she gets it wrong, she'd knock his head off really, but the power and being able to do a spread eagle, you need to be able to do it as a man now in ice dancing.
Yeah, the balance there, I mean, that's the serpentine lift, isn't it? So changes of edge and everything in there.
Change of edge, difficult position for the lady, difficult position for the man.
And that's not easy.
It's not easy. He's staying on the 2 feet. If you've got to 1 foot, then it would be really, really hard as well. And you see how the rise and fall of the knee and the ankle, and that's what makes the edges flow, and that's what the judges are looking for in the ice dancing, and it can give effortless power. It is the rise and fall of the knee and the ankle, keeping the hips underneath you, that can make it look absolutely beautiful, and they do when they're stroking around the ring, go flat out. It's very impressive to see.
Yeah, the power pool is so important in every aspect of figure skating now. There's the French couple warming up. They'll be second to go in the penultimate group. Penel Caron and Mathieu Just. But we look at these marks now on the screen for the Ukrainians, and they're not bad. 77.66, a new personal best for Anna and Sergei, so that's good. It smiles in the kiss and cry as they get a ranking of first place at this stage. First on the night and first overall with a personal best. That's good stuff.
Well put together program. 6 out of the 8 elements had level 4 there. They've really worked at it. Nikolai Morozov has really, stamped authority on that program too. Well done to the team.
And there's the view here. There isn't a seat in the place. So lying in 13th place, the Russian number 3s, bronze medalist in the national championships this year, but it's all going in the right direction for them. They were 6th last year. This their first time in the European Championships, lying in 13th place. They were 11th on the compulsory dance, dropped a bit on the originals, so again looking to skate well here. This is Katerina Rubleva and Ivan Schaefer. Music, of course, Swan Lake, but this is a modern version entitled Aria of the Black Swan.
And you'll hear in the background an ongoing rhythmic beat. There has to be that. You can't just skate to the melody. There has to be a main beat in the music right the way through. That's stipulated in the rules. Balance lift, change of position. Times gone by, you weren't allowed vocal music. Now you are. Sometimes it adds, sometimes not. Here, well, it's adding a bit. Fast into the straight line balance lift. there's a lot of open hold, I would say, again. Good change of edge on the lift. And you know, Alexander spinning, I skated against him. I can see his style in this program. You can see there's a lot of presenting up, extending the arms. And my feel is that today the judges are looking for more closed dance hold.
Well, that was a powerful routine from the Russians, Katerina Rubleva, Ivan Schaefer. Will it be enough to pull them up from the 13th place that they're in at the moment? It's been a tough season for these two. Didn't compete in any of the ISU Grand Prix events because Ivan had appendicitis, had his appendix out. So not the preparation they would have wanted. They've come here, first European Championships, not bad at all.
A great idea, the Black Swan, you know, the Black Swan Lake idea. It's a twist on a theme, and to put that in there with the costumes, that worked really well. I think what I'm seeing is that there's an awful lot of opening out and then coming back together. Open out in a hold, and then we do back crosses and we do an element. Open out and then we do an element. And I think what the judges are looking for more these days is to stay in more traditional dance hold and be closer together for a lot of the time within the routine. And this was, to me, what I've seen as a style from the past. So I think, and it may be that it's still fine for the judges. We'll see when the marks come up, because it may be that it is fine. But my understanding is that, I mean, that was a great position. There is some lovely positions, actually, and some good moves in the lifts. But it's just the open out, presenting up, open out, presenting up. We saw that. We've seen it in the past. And now I think ice dancing is becoming more closed, more intricate, and much more difficult, in fact, when it's in a more closed dance hold for more of the time. So I would love to have a discussion with Alexander about that. There'll be another one in the bar tonight.
My goodness, don't forget you've got a plane to catch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some good lifts.
And you see, getting into the position very quickly and getting the balance point is important. How you get in and out of the lift. So at the end of that, even he dropped her a little bit. He could just be a little softer with her. It's very good. Now here we're seeing that the bend, the detail of the edges, and all that content being evaluated.
Yes, certainly a lot of speed through the lifts, and transitions throughout the program look good to me.
Yes, they're sharp. I think they can go a long way. See, he's getting onto the 1 foot there, makes it more difficult for the lift. The girl in a difficult position. It takes a lot of energy to hit the positions quickly, so you have to be in very good shape.
Well, they certainly seem to be in good shape. Remember, they're ranked number 3 in Russia. We've got the top 2 Russian teams in the final group, pretty much going head-to-head. There's Koklova and Novitsky lying in 5th place. They'll be second in the last group. And then you saw earlier on, Nikki, Domnina and Shabalin in the practice. They're lying in 2nd place, but they were impressive today, weren't they?
They were. I didn't see Isabel Delabel and Oliver Schoenfelder, but I saw Domnina and Shabalin, and you know, Oksana and Maxim looked fantastic. You know, the speed and the power they were developing. Well, they've improved so much.
We've got all that to come later on. We'll focus here on these two at the moment, and they will get a total of 77.29, and that will put them into 2nd place. A new personal best for Katerina and Ivan, so that's good stuff from them. 2nd place it is for the Russians. So still the Ukrainians leading. So 2 couples to go in this group, and we've got on the ice now the highest ranked couple so far. 12th they were in the compulsory dances, moved up in the original, skated very, very well indeed. So it's 11th place for these two, just 19 years of age. Alexandra and 23-year-old Roman Zaretsky from Israel. Now this should be dramatic. The music, Carmina Burana, and they're Evgeny Platov, who trains them in Montclair, New Jersey, USA. Deep breath from Alexandra. As you watch this, bear in mind these two were injured throughout December, so they haven't had long to get back in shape.
And if he's going on to the 1 foot on the balance lift, makes it more difficult. Open on the circular step sequence makes it easier to do. So not a great deal of difficulty in that particular part of the program. They generate very good speed. Again, straight onto 1 foot, going forward, difficult, changing position in the lift. Adds to the level of difficulty. Well, with such dramatic music, it's difficult to maintain the intensity throughout the program. And a change was needed, and there it is to help the background for the diagonal step sequence.
Wowee, they gave that everything, and they had to, because that music is just so powerful. Brother and sister team, but you'd never have known that out there. There was chemistry, there was fire, passion. I enjoyed it. Alexandra and Roman Zaretsky from Israel. Could they get into the top 10 with that, Nikki?
I don't know. It's a risk to take on music that is that powerful. And I thought towards the end of the routine, they're trying to put in the drama, they're fighting with it, but I thought the music overpowered them just towards the end of the program. And so you end up looking at it and they're trying so hard to get the energy and the power in, but you need to be a big, strong couple to really carry that off for 4 minutes and keep it going. They did some good content, but for me, because the music was so powerful, it overpowered them later on. So that loses the overall impact, particularly when it is so massively loud and it's driving forward. I really like their original, I like their tango, I like the sophistication in it. I just wonder whether this music, for where they are in their career at the moment, is just a little bit pushing it too far for them.
Yes, this is only the second time in Europeans, but they're doing well. I mean, they've 15th last year. To be knocking on a door of a top 10 place, it's all going in the right direction for them.
It is great. Excellent balance.
There's a couple who 2 years ago were just outside the medals in the World Junior Championships, finished in 4th place.
Remember, man's hand must stay below his head height, so we're trying to differentiate between the pair skaters and the ice dancers at all time. The reason for all the new moves and the definition of those, of course, to make ice dancing much more of a sport.
That's quite an ending, isn't it?
It is quite an ending.
There he is.
They did give it everything they got. So
they did, yeah. I thought
you can't take anything away from them, and you just got to skate your heart out.
And of course, it might have been a little stronger had they had more preparation time. And
yep.
Fighting back from injury, never easy. So these marks, 75.88 will be their total. That'll be 3rd on the night and 2nd overall. So that is going to drop them a place, I think. 2 deductions there. So it's 2nd overall. That's hurt them quite a bit. They would have been leading had it not been for the 2 deductions. So a frown on the face of Mr. Platoff there as he looks down at the scoreboard. Talking about the rotations in the lift, perhaps. So the final couple in this group, they go into this lying in 14th place. They're the Ukrainian national champions. This is Alla Beknazarova and Vladimir Zuev.
Now, I loved her in the tango, and I thought he needed to be a little more dominant. Let's see how he does today in the free dance. She is so sharp. Difficult position in the spin straight away. Change of position. Sharp, fast into the first lift, changing position and notation, very strong. Good edge work on the circular step sequence. Good position. Strong flowing edges on the skating. Get it fast into the lift. Whoa, keep your hand below your head. Twizzles, number 2, 1, 2, 3, he's offline. Ah! He was way offline. The second set was going well till then. They'll have a less of a mark on that part of the program. Diagonal step sequence. Long edges. Curve lift. The last element of the routine.
Again, plenty of power and their artistry reflecting that flamenco medley.
I really like that. I love the definition. You know, I think with footballers, they look at how far they've run during a match to analyze it and get data. I think for these two, it's like how much energy was expended within that program. Because everything, the alignment of the free legs, the depth of the edges, and the sharpness of the way they interpreted the music was very good. He had more power than he had in the tango for me in this.
Really good control over the spins. Some of them we've seen with the weight too far forwards and you get a shower of ice on those slow-mo shots, but right on the sweet spot of the skate throughout the spins there. It's good stuff.
And hitting a position quick and then generating the rotation. And it's how long you're in the lift for. Technical specialists have the watches going, the stopwatches are going, and if you go just 1 moment over the 10-second or 6-second limit, then you'd be penalized for it. And look, great pitches. We stay on it for a moment. Look at those edges. Push round the edges. Make the turns difficult. Much more difficult to do things close together than when you're apart. Very good position. Bit of innovation. Rapport between the couple. She's so strong. Up in his hand there. Just for a moment, very close to the top of his head. Needs to make sure it's not a little bit ungainly on the change of the lift. And although it's not overhead lifts for the ice dancers, not allowed to do that, of course, because that's pair skaters' territory, still body strength required by the man now. Much higher level. And get the balance right. Great pitches.
Yes, you wouldn't want to get the balance wrong there, would you? Yeah, good job done by the Ukrainians.
And I like the detail in the step sequences. I like the overall presentation. That was really good.
They competed in a couple of internationals this year and they were 10th in the Cup of Russia, but much better in the golden spin where they finished in second place. So the marks coming up, they'll get a total of 69.67, and that will have them 6th on the night, I think, and a new personal best, 4th overall.
And a couple of their elements only got level 1, so that's really let them down. That's a shame.
In fact, it's both step sequences down to level 1. So
it didn't have the content in, didn't have the difficulty, so you're setting yourself up for a fall if you haven't got that within the construction of the program.
And the great thing is, at the end of the competition, they all get a breakdown of these scores, don't they? And they can analyse the program. So between now and the World Championships, hopefully we'll see some of these levels go up.
Yeah, you can go away and look at it and go, and so which bit do I need to work on? Ah, right, okay.
So you're seeing the placings now. We've got 2 groups to go. The top skaters in these final 2 groups, and all the medal contenders in the final group.
And there was, yesterday, Philippa and Philip had 3 points as a deductions, and we know what happened.
So there they are on the ice, warming up for the penultimate group. We've only got 4 teams out there because of the accident earlier today of Attila Elek. Broke his ankle on practice, so they've had to withdraw. So John and Sinead first to go, then Caroline Just. And a chance to have a chat to the
Roman,
Israeli
why are you
couple.
holding your sister's
injury we talked about. Injury from yesterday we talked about. So in the end of 4 minutes, it's really hard to be in the skate for her. So took the skate off.
Yeah, are you happy with the performance tonight?
Yes. Yeah. I think we did, what we could do today. The max we could. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Conclusion for this European Championship, what would be your words?
Glad we got some success from last year, moved up from last year. So
that was hard. It wasn't easy, and we thought we're not going to go here, but in the end, good European Championships. I like it.
Do you think you're going to go to a World Championship?
Definitely. No matter, nobody knows what's going to happen, but we're going to try to be there.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic voice of determination from the Israeli team, Alexandra and Roman. You can see there, still uncomfortable in the boot, but she fought her way through it. We're off for a break. Stay with us.
Stellen Sie sich vor, unsere Luft wäre sauberer, unser Gras wäre grüner. Wir würden länger leben und uns wohler fühlen. Stellen Sie sich vor, alle Autos wären wie der Toyota Prius. Seine Hybridtechnologie reduziert die CO2-Emissionen um 1 Tonne pro Jahr. Hybrid Synergy Drive. Die Zukunft atmet auf. Nichts ist unmöglich. Toyota.
Was wäre, wenn sich Ihr Geschäftsmodell alle 4 Stunden ändert? Weil wir heute schon an morgen denken, können Sie jetzt und auch in Zukunft auf unsere individuellen Versicherungslösungen zählen. Zürich, because change happens.
You always play that you believe. You always lost as what you want. The future is a slow retreat. The future is a muscle you don't have.
Jack Wolfskin. Jetzt Katalog anfordern.
Welcome back. You're watching scenes behind the scenes in the warm-up area. Skaters for the final group still off ice and just getting themselves into shape for the competition proper. We'll see them in action shortly. The skaters for the penultimate group, 4 teams out on the ice at the moment. Maxime Chabalin just getting herself going, lying in second place. And there they are, skaters for this group. John and Sinead Kerr first to go, then the French team, Pernell Caron and Matteo Yost, then Nora Hoffman and Attila Elek withdrawn due to Attila's injury. Real disappointment there for them. Then Kristen Fraser, Igor Lukanin for Azerbaijan, and last to go it'll be Anna Capellini and Luca Lanotti from Italy.
We were talking to Hai Gunjun, president of NISA, and he was just saying there's some information you might want to pass on to skating fans in the UK. In March, there's the Junior World Synchronized Championship at Nottingham Ice Stadium, and that will be amazing. And in October, one of the first ISU Grand Prix event that we've had since '95 in the UK, and that will be in Sheffield. It'll be a junior Grand Prix that takes place in October. So have a look at the NISA website, and you can also find that out from Nottingham or Sheffield Rinks and go along and support it. And it's always great if you're looking to move up and you're a skater and you want to see some of the best, go and see these great skaters. Junior Grand Prix would be super standard to go and see, and it's good that we've got ISU events back in the UK.
Well, the warm-up now over, and teams just leaving the ice. And once again, it's a fantastic atmosphere in this arena. They really do love their figure skating, whether it's ice dance, men's, pairs, doesn't really matter to the Poles. And in fact, there's fans from all over the place here to support the skaters this evening. Ready to get underway then. They're 4 times the national champions of Great Britain. They've been 8th in the European Championships for the last 2 years. Here, heading off this penultimate group, lying in 6th place. It's the last of the Mohicans for John and Sinead Kerr for Great Britain. Really looking for something special. Bit of a mistake in the original dance yesterday from John, which may well have cost them a place. Got to put that behind them now. Look at the focus.
Very strong and deep in the knee. Fast. Difficult lift, loads of power. Clever twist on the balance lift, just one hand. Circular step sequence. It's in pushing the edges. Again, strong in the lift. 3 changes of position. And doing the twizzles, holding on to the first foot. John just losing alignment on the end of the second of those twizzles. Lots of attack. Now the diagonal sequence.
Wow, well, that has gone down a storm here in Warsaw. Drama all the way through, totally exhausted. They couldn't have given it any more at all. Really, really good. Now, Nikki, how important was that mistake that John made in the original? Because if they hadn't made a mistake and they'd got up into 5th place, they'd have been in the last group.
Being in the last group makes, even today, significant difference to me. They're skating 10 away from the last skater. And, you know, they've drawn first. It's such a shame. It shouldn't make a difference, but it does, because the judges, when the last group comes out, I'm sure in their minds, it's a different gearing up. So, and to be in the last group, you know, you go out there and you're skating in the last top 5, and it does make a difference. And they're good enough to be in the last 5, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Does it psychologically make a difference to you as a skater to be skating in the last group? Does it lift your game?
Yeah, you feel like you're in the top now. You're in the top, and it's almost a club, you know, to be on the ice in the top 5. Great position. They're such wonderful show people in the way that they put together their routines. They always have been. They can hold the crowd. They had everybody in the palm of their hand here, from the drama of it to the quietness of it. It didn't quite generate the excitement that they've done for me in some of their other routines, but it was very, very well done, and it's great. You're trying to do something new, trying to do something different. So difficult. Look at the balance. Amazing strength.
Yeah, the strength there required from both of them, isn't it? It's just a real team effort.
Make it look easy, but gosh.
Yeah, they do. And again, the transitions from one position in the lift to another.
Adding to the level of difficulties. And this on the twizzles, holding the foot, so making it more difficult for yourself, so you get a higher value to it. Now, this was the second part. This was the thing that John didn't get quite right yesterday, and it was just, again, slightly off. And, you know, you've got to be able to relax and do it at the same time as being tensed up and all the adrenaline that's running through you. Different skills. And he is so strong.
Yes, the look on his face of determination and just so into the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. And they're creating a themed event. It's great to do.
Really is good. And a chance to look backstage, the leaders. That's Olivier Schoenfelder just getting himself ready. They've not got the best draw in the world. They'll be first to go in the final group. Now, they'll want to be in first place. They're surely going to be with that performance. 46.22, 40.92. The total there, no deductions. That could be key at the end of the day. It's first place for John and Sinead, and it is a new personal best. That could be key as well. 86.74 was their previous best. 87.14, 171.9, and that's overall a personal best for them as well. So at this stage, they'll take it. Could they possibly move up a place? We're going to have to wait quite some time to find out. They should well lead all the way through this group.
Alistair and Maeve relieved. It's over.
So there's always plenty of French support here. They love their figure skating. And Muriel Zazui, you got a shot of her. Romain Hugenauer, who trained these two in Lyon in France. This is Penel Caron and Matteo Jost, lying in 10th place. Selection of music here by Edith Piaf.
A very different approach to Jean Sinead. It's what makes ice dancing so interesting. People choosing different themes and interpreting it in their own way. There's the twizzles, very fast. Or both ways, high level of difficulty, and a nice rhythmic flow to their skating to match the music.
Well, I love the concept. A French team skating to the music of Edith Piaf. They loved it too. Just to put it into perspective, we're not comparing this to the likes of the Kerrs. There's over 10 points between these two. But nevertheless, it was great to watch and very entertaining.
Yeah, it's a totally different approach, but it worked for me. It was light, it was fun, and their style fitted it very well. So now, there were parts of it towards the end that were a little empty of content, just at certain points, but he was fast in the lifts, strong. There was a fun to it, which was needed to put over that type of music.
And I've got a chance to catch up with John and Sinead down on ringside.
I just heard Chris and Nikki saying wow at the end of your program.
Yeah, that's always nice. If you get that kind of response off of anybody, you know, them especially, then that's always a nice praise to have.
Are you happy, personal best tonight?
Yeah, really happy. I mean, I think that we really wanted to go out today and just perform the programme. I mean, obviously the elements are in the back of your head all the time, but I think for me it was important to go out and connect with the audience and really get across what we were feeling inside, so I hope we did that.
Speaking about elements, there was this tiny little thing in the twizzle.
You know, I think as soon as I came off, Evgeny said, John, I think I know what we're going to be practicing before Worlds. That's it. I think I know too. So, you know, sometimes, you know, just when there's a little bit of pressure on, you have to have your technique a little bit more solid. So that's what we'll be working on anyway.
All right. Congratulations in win. Thank you very much.
Hey, Nikki, at least somebody's listened to us. That's good.
Just Gwendol.
So there you heard it. He's going to be working on his twizzles. It's going to be twizzle crazy for John.
He's going to be dreaming twizzles.
He is indeed. Anyway, focusing back on these two, a couple that third in French nationals, and they got their place here because there's only 2 French teams allowed in the competition. They've qualified, and Nathalie Pechelat and Fabien Bourzin, they couldn't be here because poor old Natalie broke her hand about 3 weeks ago in a gala in Courchevel. So that's disappointing for her, but and we wish her all the very, very best of luck. But good fortunes for these two, and they've really grabbed it with both hands.
And you can see a bit of the influence of Isabelle and Olivier on their skating as well. You know, when you have people in your country that are skating a certain style, you can see that impression coming over in his style here. But, you know, the outfits, the way it's all put together is the total package, did fit. Very well done in terms of presenting a total package to the judges as in ice dancing for the free dance. That's what I like to see, rather than just a disjointed approach.
But the mark's not bad, 79.39 for the free dance, gives them a total of 152.47 and into second place for them, and that'll be a new personal best as well. So it's all good stuff. They like it. So congratulations to the team there, and second it is. So, 2 personal bests so far in this group can continue in the same vein. We've got the couple next who are lying just in front of Pernell and Mathieu. So this will be interesting, and you really can compare these two like for like. Representing Azerbaijan, this is Kristen Fraser and Igor Lukanin, and their music, Caribbean Guitar. And there's quite a big gap between these two, so they've got a margin for error. But they're not looking backwards, they're looking ahead.
Lovely music. Single instrument lead always works well in arenas. The sound hangs. nicely into the lift. It's quite open in the hold. Lets them build up the speed quickly. Twizzles. She was just a bit tight on the end.
In fact, she put her foot down through that, so it's going to be a level 1.
Well, very powerful getting into the position for the lift. His hand very close to the top of his head. I'd like to see that on the replay. If it does go above his head, then they'll be penalised. Oh! Tight in traditional dance hold. Makes the step sequence more difficult to do, and you just saw if you get the balance wrong just for a moment, it can be disaster. Well held, sir. Reversing the rotation, changing position, all adds to the difficulty.
Well, that's a real shame because, as you rightly said, Nikki, the concept was good. The Caribbean guitar, the single instrument, just almost haunting when they started. Really, really loved it, but it wasn't Kristen's night, was it?
No, and the wave sound at the back of it allows you to either pick up on that or the guitar itself, so it gives you nuances within the routine. And a lot of that was so good because they were using those different types of melody and rhythmic motions. But she ran out of steam, I think. Looks like she might have cut her arm, actually. Maybe caught a blade on it at some point. You know, yeah, maybe she's cut her hand. The movements are so quick. You can catch her blade, and you just have to carry on. Doesn't matter. So, very demanding.
I think you're right. I think she probably cut a finger, and that's the sort of move that can do it for you.
And when the adrenaline's going, and you're really trying to put that extra bit of attack into it, that's when the problems can start.
Just incredible balance on this. What a great shot that is.
Again, what we saw was there was a lot of open skating into the elements. So at each end of the rink, they do forward crossovers side by side to get the power into the elements. And what I love to see is when there's more intricate dance moves in dance hold into the elements. So it's not just an open side by side run in to get the power. And here's the twizzles. And it was fine up till then.
Now, the back one, wasn't it? Yeah, the back inside. There, over the front of the skate, the foot goes down.
Now, well, his hand his hand was supporting her leg above his head.
So that should be a deduction.
So it should be a deduction. As far as I understand it, you know, you can't lift the lady with the hand over the head. You could say it was not a supporting hand, but, you know, they'll have the replay cameras going.
Very well spotted, Mr. Slater.
Well, we'll see. It is so detailed.
Just another chance to have a look backstage, and the couple lying in second place warming up there. It's Oksana, Domnina, just stretching, all important. Get warm first and then start stretching. It's quite incredible how long the skaters warm up for now. So here we go. Will there be a deduction for the lift? Will it be level 1 for the Twizzles? Remember, these two 9th place, technical score 43.34. Well, we're looking down at the computer. There's no deduction there.
No, so the lift must have been okay.
So all okay there. And the Twizzles got a 3, didn't they? So we got it all wrong. Second place it is.
And some 1, 2, 3,
Kristen,
4 level 4s.
So the judges have gone with it. 157.63. It's 10 below their personal best, but second place at this stage for Kristen and Igor. And that really their allotted spot. Now just ahead of them are the couple that go the ice now. So could they possibly even pull up a place? Lying in 8th after the original, pulled up a place from their 9th spot in the compulsory dance. The silver medalists in the Italian National Championships, the champions last to skate. We'll see them later on. But here they are, 19-year-old Anna Capellini and 21-year-old Luca Lanotte. And their music, George Gershwin's I've Got Rhythm. Let's hope they have. Really sharp start.
So staying in the circle on the circular step sequence more than once round in order to get more content in. Clean and fast into the lifts. Twizzles holding the foot. And now the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to get back to the nearest practical point. I've done it hundreds of times before, but gosh, his weight is back.
Yeah, what a shame. They've got rhythm all right, and he is furious with himself. It was all going so well. Well, I thought, Nicky, a little bit earlier on, actually, in the twizzle, his free foot was a little bit loose, so you started to feel that, hang on a minute, something's not right here. Perhaps he's losing steam. And then just in those closing, well, 30, 40 seconds, it all fell apart. It was great at the beginning, though.
It was great. There's a massive amount of step content within that routine. Takes energy, you know, very quick in the lifts. And just when you're doing the step sequence, you might just relax for a moment. Your weight's just a little bit back. You can't hold it.
No, I just wonder if it was one of those moments where his legs are gone. You know, when you get tired and you can't get down in the knee anymore because your thighs are burning, your calves hurt. Physically, it's so demanding, and you tend to lose it because they make it look so easy, don't they?
Yes.
Christine, you look to be in deep pain at the end of the program. What just happened?
Well, I have a bad back, and it's been like that my whole life, and unfortunately, today just wasn't my day.
And you cut yourself also?
Oh, yeah. These new rules, they're pushing us to the edge, but, it's going to make us better skaters. So just, a little bit more blood never hurt any sport, right?
Igor, are you happy with the all performance on this championship for you?
I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy we skated a very good compulsory. The best ID like this season was here as well. And free program, I don't think it was bad, except a small thing on the straight line. But, considering the circumstances, could have been better. So I'm pretty happy.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
So there you are. It's blood, sweat and tears, this ice dancing.
And this thing about having to get your foot up to the head to get the points, if you are very flexible, then it's not a big effort to do it. But if you're not, the girls are putting massive pressure on their body in order to try and be fulfilling the criteria of higher marks. And you can see there, she said, I've always had a bad back, but these are the rules, I've got to do it. So if it hurts or if it hurts your back, you just got to keep going or give up the sport. That's the way it is. There's the fall.
This is going to hurt. That'll live with him for a while, but don't worry. You're young.
Load of good stuff there.
Yeah, a lot to admire.
And with Roberto leading him on there, Roberto, fantastic technician, and he knows the game. That's why they develop so much step content within that.
Well, here we go. Let's See how that stands. They've got the 1 point mandatory deduction for the fall. 76.58 the technical score. It's going to give them, or the segment score, sorry, it's going to give them 155.28 as a total, and that will put them in third overall.
And again, 6 out of 8 of the elements were level 4, so
yeah, it's all good.
The content in there is strong.
Third overall. 6th on the night, but it's third overall for Anna and Luca. So they hang on in there. We've got 5 couples to go, and they're the top 5 couples. That's the situation. John and Sinead Kerr leading at the moment, and by some way, 171.9. Good from them. Kristen and Igor in second place, and then the Italians. French couple in just behind. Goron and Just, and then the Ukrainians, and that's the situation further down. So effectively you can add 5 places to the results that you see there, and that should be their finishing position. Philippa Towler-Green and Philip Paul, who were third to skate in the opening group, skated very, very well indeed, and it's all about experience for them. So the ice being resurfaced, we've got the top 5 to come, and first onto the ice will be Isabel Delabelle and Olivia Schoenfelder, the leaders in both of the categories so far. We've got a chance to talk to Nora and Attila.
Attila, you fell this morning on practice and you hurt yourself. What just happened?
Actually, I twisted my ankle in a step. It was kind of nothing. I was just standing on an inside edge, and then my skate has started on the ice and my ankle has started to twist. Then I fell over, and then they took me to the hospital and they said it has broken.
Nora, I was there, I saw you, and you were on the shock right away. Did you understand that it was serious on the spot?
Well, I saw him when he tried to stand up after the fall, and I saw his face that he had really big pain and he couldn't stand up. So that was the point. I understand that it's a big problem, especially from last year, because last year we had also a problem in the vert when somebody hit my back, and it was like the second shock for me in 1 year. So we have kind of bad luck.
It will be something like 6 years to recover and then rehab. So we might say that it's over for the season?
Yeah, I think so. It's over for the season, yeah.
So are you already thinking of the next season and planning something?
Not yet, but we should have to think on the next year.
All right. Thank you very much, and very sorry for you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, bitter disappointment, and that's from all of us here at Eurosport. We wish you a speedy recovery and look forward to seeing you back again next season. Shots there of John and Sinead Kerr leading at the moment. It's time for a break from us.
Tomorrow, live on Eurosport 2. Ticket to Ride, tomorrow at 1300, live on Eurosport 2.
stand by Igor Sufak. Paolo Bettini, world champion, wins for his brother. 2.13, Manadu, the queen of the championships. An enormous roar from the Austrian Tyrolean fans, and he's done it. He has done it. He goes down. I don't believe it. And Nicky Hayden is the world champion. Mamma mia! What a ride! That is why we love motorcycle racing. Yes, he has. Big crash. This is magnificent. Unbelievable.
Welcome back. You're looking at slow motion shots and highlights from some of the skating that we've had so far. We've had 4 groups in this free dance. We've got the battle for the medals coming up very shortly. The top 5 still to go. And while we're waiting, a chance to look back at some of the action from last night and the men's free.
Well, the French fans were cock-a-hoop. The big favourite, their man, Brian Joubert, won the men's European title in emphatic style. He was only second after the short programme. In the free, the Frenchman pulled out of one of the, just pulled out one quadruple jump, but otherwise, it really was quite a performance. The brilliance of Brian Joubert. The judges gave him 151.94, almost 15 points more than the Belgian Kevin van der Perren and the Czech Thomas Werner, who was leading after the short program. The big loser of the day was the Belarusian Sergei Davidov, third after the short program, but finally fourth and out of the medals by just 0.07 of a point. Joubert here finished with a cumulative score of 227.12. It was a score that would have given him just third place last year, or rather, 2 years ago, second place, but this time around in Warsaw, more than enough for the gold medal. The final results: Kevin van der Perren third, Thomas Werner second, and Brian Joubert, the European champion.
Brian, ça a été dur, mais ce titre, tu l'as.
Well, it was tough, but you got the title.
Bilan satisfaisant dans le sens
yes, it's pretty satisfying because I won. The score wasn't bad either. I have just 2 regrets this week, really. First of all, my mistake during the short program, because there I lost so many points, really. Second regret, I didn't try the quadruple salto. But overall, you know, this gives me a lot of confidence because mentally it was very difficult, much more difficult than in 2004 when I won my first title. And, you know, it's just fabulous. My season's been terrific. We've won everything since the start, and that's terrific. We just have to continue like that. So Brian Joubert now looking forward towards the World Championships in Tokyo in March to continue his gold rush, but for the moment, enjoying his 6th European medal in a row and his 2nd gold.
Welcome back. You join us live here in the Torvor Arena. Just had a nice resurface. We've got the top 5 teams just about ready to come out onto the ice. Got a chance to take another quick commercial break, but stay with us. We'll be live back here in a moment. Welcome back. As you can see, there's still no action. We've got a couple of minutes or so before the skaters come out for this final group here in the free dance. So while we're waiting, let's take a look at some of the action from earlier on today. It was the ladies' short program, and the leader was this young lady. Skated really, really well. The 22-year-old for Switzerland. This is Sarah Meyer. She was 4th last year, but she's put herself right in a chance of winning a medal here in Warsaw. Sit back and enjoy this. Brilliant performance, and that puts her 3/100ths of a point ahead of the Italian Carolina Costner. Remember, Costner, the bronze medalist from last year and a red-hot favorite to win here in Warsaw. But Sarah Meyer has had a thing or two to say about that, and that performance has put her into the lead going into the free, which of course takes place tomorrow afternoon. So you rejoin us live here for the final group, and it's a real humdinger. The atmosphere is electric. There they are, the world champions, out to move out of that 3rd position. We're off for a quick break. Don't go away. Welcome back. So that is the order. That's how they go in this final group. It's electric here in the Tour War Arena. Fantastic venue. It's a small venue, but the skaters love it because the crowd are nice and close to the ice surface. A chance for the skaters to really build up a rapport, and you can see the enthusiasm of the crowd here. There's banners all over the place, people taking pictures. She's just checking on the ones that are stored in the camera to take home to show her friends. Fantastic it is. And just to confirm the order, it's the leaders, Delobel and Schoenfelder for France, that go first. Then Koklova and Novitsky lying in 5th place for Russia. The two Russian teams back to back. Lying in 2nd place, Domnina and Shabalin will be 3rd to go. Then the Bulgarians, the world champions, down in 3rd place. But it could easily change here. Denkova and Stavisky. And last to go, and they'll be thrilled with this draw. Skating fantastic, Federica Faiella and Massimo Scali for Italy. That's the scene. You can see the panel of judges down there and the technical specialists sat behind, all the VIP seats there. And as we pan around the arena, hardly a spare seat to be had. People making their way back after the resurface now. And I hope you sat down with a nice cup of tea, cup of cocoa and a biscuit, or whatever it is you have.
Or even a glass of wine, perhaps. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that, but I didn't like to say it. Okay. So here we go. We're ready to go. Hope you are at home too. So they've been on the podium before. It was a couple of years ago when they won the bronze medal at the European Championships. 5 times they've been the French national champions. And they go into this free dance well and truly in the lead. It is, of course, Isabelle Delobel and Olivier Schoenfelder from France. And their music from the soundtrack of the film, The Untouchables.
Difficult move. Seamlessly into the circular step sequence. Difficulty, always such great skating from them. Difficult turn. There's the twizzles. Beautiful to watch. A couple of steps to build up the power. Serpentine lift. Very difficult move. such quality. Here's the midline step sequence. The edge changes.
Well, there's no mistakes that I saw, and there's definitely no mistakes spotted by them. A fantastic performance, speed, drama. Could it be number one? You have to go back to 2000 in Vienna, when France last won the European title, and that was, of course, Marina Anasina and our own Gwendal Pesarat. Do you think they've done enough, Nicky?
I think they may well have done enough. I mean, it was lots of difficulty within the routine, something very different for them. The quality of their skating, I've always admired it so much.
Yeah, me too. Just the basic skill is there. A bit out of sync there on the twizzles, wasn't it?
Just a little bit. It fitted perfectly with the music. You know, it was like that element just fitted to the overall nuance of the music at that point. They're always trying to do new points, create these photographic moments where you just take a picture, bang, and it's just amazing. And again, you see the strength and the balance. We saw it with John and Sinead. We see it with so many other couples, but this was very, very good. And then another balance point here. Very quick transition on the change of edge.
One of the things I love about these two is that we've seen a lot of couples trying to do the footwork all on one leg, but their skating skills are so pure and so inbred, aren't they? They can generate speed just from a simple change of edge.
Yes, and it's wonderful to watch it. It is almost breathtaking, because you see this generation of power without feeling that they're actually putting the effort in, and that is ice skating at its best, when you see the speed generated with just this, what we call the stroking. And that element, they're facing the judges. You see, that's their stage front. So the judges getting this impression all the time of the show being presented to them. And they are, it's like a show. The audience was spellbound by it.
Well, me too. And I hope you were at home. Now, sure, it's going to be first at this stage, but how good will the marks be? So here we go. And they're good. 50.57, very good indeed. Nowhere near their personal best, but nevertheless good marks. And they go shooting into the lead with a total score of 199.47. There's confirmation of that. It's Isabelle Delabelle and Olivier Schoenfelder who have got an anxious 20 minutes or so. Could they possibly win the European title here in Warsaw? There's Isabel's twin sister sat there. She's an ice dancer as well. Okay, I hope you can sense the atmosphere here. We've got the two Russian teams back-to-back here. First, the couple that finished second in Russian nationals. They're lying fifth going into this. Pulled up a little bit in the original dance. Finished fourth there, so closed the gap slightly, but still in fifth place, just behind the Italians who go last. This is Jana Koklova and Sergei Novitsky. And the music, Aranju's Mon Amour.
straight away, very smooth. Great balance on the lift. Corkscrew, borrowed from the pairs, we saw it in their OD. Changes of positions in the spin, higher level of difficulty. And he is so strong. Diagonal step sequence.
Well, that was magnificent. Beautiful costume, lovely music, and fantastic skating. Remember, they're in 5th place, knocking on the door of a medal.
And John and Sinead were just behind them. Now, a lot of that, there's a bigger height difference that they enjoy than John and Sinead, so him doing the lifts is easier. And he makes the most of that, because they do some very strong lifts indeed, almost like pair skating moves at times. But there was quite a lot of that program that for me was open. It wasn't in the dance hold. It didn't have, like that, we're side by side, we're doing the turns. That was probably the twizzles right at the start, which is fine to be side by side. That's the name of the game for that section. But a lot of it was apart. So I'm wondering whether John and Sinead's detail and the fact that they were in dance hold more could really work for them.
Well, John and Sinead are about 1.3 behind these two, and these two actually a long way off of a medal position. Let's hear from Isabelle and Olivier.
Je vous ai vu à l'entraînement, j'ai jamais vu le programme aussi bien réalisé. C'était vraiment une autre dimension.
Gwendol saying he saw them in training, and he said, I've never seen them perform that well. Said it was a special day. Everything worked really, really well. It was, all the elements were perfect. We've got no physical problems, so had plenty of energy and were able to keep it right to the end. So they've worked really, really hard to make that happen, and Gwendol congratulating them and saying, well, we just got to wait. And wait we will do. We've had 2 of the 5 couples. So these two not really in contention for a medal, but yeah, we can compare them with John and Sinead. What's your gut feeling, Nikki?
My gut feeling is it makes a tremendous difference to be in the last group for the judges, and once they hit that level, it can influence how you mark. As a judge, you're there. But so that plays against John and Sinead, having been skating so far away from here. But putting the programs back to back, and this one, for certain of the elements, I don't think had the same content. You'd have to really break it to pieces and analyze it. But on certain of the step sequences, because they are so much more open, I thought, no, John and Sinead have the edge.
Well, it's 171.90 is John and Sinead's total score. So that's the target.
It's not to take away from their quality and what they were doing, because you can see it in the lifts, and the way it was done was super skating.
No deductions, marks 89.71, the total segment score for these two. And it'll be 175.76. So indeed, they've extended their lead. They're second on the night and second overall at this stage, in behind Delabelle and Schoenfelder. So it looks as though John and Sinead won't move from that 6th position that they were going into this. So second it is for Jana and Sergei. Still 3 couples to go. Lying in second place, hot on the heels of the French team. 1.5 points behind them going into the free dance. They're going to have to go some. This is Oksana Domnina and Maxim Shabelin. Recognize the melody, Stranger in Paradise, the music, a selection of Polovitzian dances from Digor.
Diagonal step sequence, seamless integration with the choreography. Dramatic and different in the lift. They can really carry off this type of music. And again, a required element just looking like it seamlessly integrates. Those were the twizzles. Beautifully done.
Just beyond belief. How do you give it that much and maintain control? It's scarcely credible. At their very, very best, and they had to be because the French have skated well. Second place, remember, a point and a half behind the French. Oksana Domnina, Maxim Shabalin. Was that enough, Nikki, to take the lead?
I think it could be. The drama of it, the power of it. He just plays the part, doesn't he? She plays the part too, but it works. It's a risky thing to take on such a concept. You really need to be powerful. But he has the look, he has the presence. And she's the foil for it. It's going to depend on the definition of the elements in part, because both the top pairs have wonderful skating quality and technique.
Yeah, we need the judges' computer to work this one out, really. Just look at that.
I love the costume. I love his attitude, the way they've moved on. He always had power, but now to take something into this realm of the concept that you can put into the overall routine, the way they integrated the required elements into a lot of the program. Seamless, just flowing, fitting. Very high quality.
Yes, the transitions throughout the program are very, very good indeed, weren't they?
And he acts it, you know, and to act it without going over the top. He's got a natural look for this anyway, but you can get too much over the top with the face, but he's got this natural aggression to him, and it really is, you know, it fits as a whole piece, as a piece of drama out there, as a dance in itself. And that can go with the new rules being so restrictive, you know, to get that within it.
Okay, the team sat there. Alexei Gorshkov, Sergei Petchukov. Ooh, anxious moments for these two and for the French. Oh, they're good. They're very good. 51.07. Are they good enough? Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be very close, but it's second. It's a personal best. 100.39, and they wait, their fingers crossed. They're trying to do the maths, but I can tell you it's not enough. How close could it be? Well, I'll tell you, if I can work it out, it's 31 hundredths, I think, between the two of them. the only couple really that can upset the French party are on the ice now. They're the world champions. They go into this in third place, bitterly disappointed with the marking of the original dance. They got some deductions in there, couldn't understand it. Or it was levels, wasn't it? The level ones they didn't understand, but they're putting that behind them now. They've got to skate an absolute blinder. Albina Denkova and Maxim Stavisky. The music for them, a Lacrimosa Requiem and a Romeo and Juliet.
Going through the twizzles on one foot, the change of edge to drive the second part. Very difficult. Lovely lift. They're very powerful. Circular step sequence, lovely edges, lovely interpretation to the music. Oh, beautiful lift.
Just brilliant. They're the world champions. They've never won the European gold. Twice silver medalists. Bulgaria have never won this title, and I'm sorry to say they're not going to win it here, I don't think. They've left themselves with too much to do, even if they won the free dance here. And in fact, Delabelle and Schoenfelder are second on the night. The Russians beat them, but they had enough in hand, and they're watching this. They can't believe it. It was a brilliant performance from the Bulgarians, but they're never going to get 5 points back.
It was drama again, wasn't it? These top couples are coming out with things that are very different. Quality of skating and the energy, they're all pushing right to the last second. Difficult movements. Look at that, and he gets up and he stops it after that. Stops it, she stays down the drag. Excellent, very dramatic. He was strong in the lifts throughout it. They were doing innovation in the movements. Always trying to do something just a little different. And this. Ooh, gosh, if you get your weight back, you need an awful lot of strength as the man to do that. An absolute perfect balance. Because if you lean backwards, there's no catching you at all. And John and Sinead did this move. It was Sinead just holding on with a single arm. This time it's the other way around. Get the balance point. Once you're down, John told me, it's not that bad. It's just getting the down and the up that can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's once you're down, it's getting up, I would think, would be the problem.
But they must be pleased with that performance.
Yeah, I don't think they could have skated any better. They've given it absolutely everything, and you'd expect nothing less from these two. They love a good crowd, and the crowd here have got right behind them, as they do everywhere in the world. And there, Isabelle and Olivier just holding hands, and oh, they can hardly watch. Look, I can't believe the gold medal will be taken away from them. Bulgaria have never won this. The Russians have won it 28 times, and France have won it 3 times. Once back in 1962, the Gouel team, and then 2000 and 2002, Gwendolyn Marina won it. Could it be a 4th one for the French? I'm sure it's going to be.
I think it will be. But I think they can just feel so proud of what they've done. This crowd is appreciating the quality and the drama of all the skating that they're seeing at the end of this ice dance event.
You sense he knows what's going to happen. Fantastic. Well, Albina there, she's just been elected the president of the Bulgarian Skating Federation. Here we go, 50.40, 48.21. Oh. And that will have them 3rd on the night with 193.73 and 3rd overall. So a bronze medal to go with their 2 silver medals. It's no gold for the world champions here in Warsaw. And celebrations already from the French. Well, they're saying Brian won yesterday, and today it's victory for us. A big thank you to all of their fans, and he says a big kiss to his wife. Good man, Olivier. That'll earn you some brownie points. Fantastic for them. Well done. It certainly is. The competition was great, very long, but they're the European champions. So, one couple to go. Let's not take the away from these two. They're just too far away from a medal position. I think they're 9 points off of 3rd place. Lying in 4th going into this, it's Pasquale Camerolengo looking on, Federica Fiali and Massimo Scali for Italy. Hang on to your hats, this is electrifying.
So clipped and sure with every movement they do. It's the midline step sequence. Focused on the judges. building the content, turns, deep edges, using every inch of the rink. Snap the movements, gives more emphasis. Excellent change of direction in the spin. Oh no! Gosh, you've seen that with John and Sinead before. That could have been really, really dangerous. Well, he seems all right. Doing twizzles after you've been dropped on your head. You did fine. Clever. Whoa. Clever changes in the lift. Circular step sequence. Push the edges. Make the turns.
Well, what a man. If you just switched that on and caught the last minute, you'd never know that 30 seconds before he'd been dropped on his head, would you?
No, there's a lot of wow in that routine, a massive amount of energy. They'll have done those moves again and again, but when the adrenaline's pumping, it seems to happen to the Italians in particular. They seem to really go up a gear. And you just get that little slip. It was so much to admire. It is the snap they get, you know, the quickness movement that they can define into elements. Loads of content. Well, snap. You see the snap. It's just great to see.
Putting the British hat on a minute, flying the British flag. John and Sinead are, 2.2 behind them. They're going to get a point off for the fall. There could be a bit of a movement here.
Yeah, it could make a difference. I was watching them skate this morning, and they have quality skating too about it. And there's so much content in the program.
Not sure I want to watch this.
Here we go. Aye, aye, aye.
Did he get his hands down?
Aye, aye, aye.
Just turns.
Aye, 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 aye.
Oh, thank goodness for the hair gel. Oh, dear me. Massimo.
He came out smiling at the end of it too. But whoa.
He did. What a man.
Whoa. And for her too, you know, because when you're the one that's made the mistake or you've not been able to hold it, you can really be beating yourself up.
Good point, Nicky.
No time for that. You've just got to keep going.
Oh dear, he's going to have a headache later.
He did great.
I think the adrenaline must have kept him going.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Well done to both of them for making it through to the end. Well, it's been drama right the way through, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, and we knew it would move up these last two groups.
Is he okay?
We just don't know how far, but woof. No, if it had gone the other way with the landing on that, it would have been it.
What a great guy. No drama. Brains are still in place. It's all right, you look great. Don't worry about it. Well done. Just sitting there smiling and, I was going to say taking it on the chin, but taking it on top of the head, really.
Thank goodness he's all right.
Yeah, that could have been much, much worse than it was, so. Whew. Okay, what will happen to them now? Oh dear. It's sixth place on the night, and that will drop them down to sixth overall. So indeed, John and Sinead do pull up one, as do the Russians. So it's tough for them. They'll be disappointed with that, but they can't make mistakes like that. Even being kind to them, the program wasn't as sharp after the fall, and you can understand that. But so it's sixth place for the Italians. Great news for John and Sinead, although that's not the way they would have wanted it to happen. Fifth place for them. They move up one, and that's fantastic to get into the top five. And there's confirmation. It's the fourth time France have won the European title in the ice dance. Isabel and Olivier, European champions here in Warsaw. Oksana and Maxim, silver medal for them then. Denkova and Stavisky, the bronze medal. They couldn't do anything about it on the free dance here. They really lost that yesterday in the original dance, but what a competition. That's the situation further down. And a fantastic final group, Nikki.
It was indeed, and for Isabel and Olivia, well done. They didn't win the free dance, and I thought Oksana and Maxim were fantastic in the free dance. So I'm not surprised that they managed to take it. Isabel and Olivia will be looking at their free dance, looking at where they can add into it to strengthen that. It's still a wonderful routine, but it couldn't be hardly any tighter at the top there.
Yeah, really interesting that it's the Bulgarians that won the Grand Prix. But here it's Delabelle and Schoenfelder that win. We're going to hear from Albina and Maxim.
Albina, Maxim, great program tonight. Are you happy with your performance at least?
Yeah, first of all, I want to congratulate all friends and Isabel and Olivier. They're a very good couple, they're a very strong couple, and I'm very glad for them. They skated really good, I think, like always. And yes, we are very glad with our performance. We skated very I hope nice. And we had a fun during the skating.
So many fans in the audience, such a great crowd, so we were very pleased to perform our program tonight.
You know, you always have the best of the people, like you've got fans everywhere around the world, but here tonight you've got the chance to speak directly to the Bulgarian people. So, Albina, if you want to say something to them tonight, it's your night.
Yes, I want to say благодаря за поддръжката. Ние сме с вас, обичаме ви, независимо от всичко ще се бориме до край.
Well, Albina saying that thank you to their fans, we love you, and we'll fight right to the end.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Maxim saying they enjoyed it, and that really... And really very happy. There's too many emotions. It's really, really hard to take in. And Gwendol says, what do you think about this competition? What's the difference this time? Olivier saying that here they really did everything they wanted to do. They were successful, they made no errors, no faults. They wanted to win, and the judges really understood the performance. Great French success, Gwendol says. Brian won yesterday. and you won today, and they say, yeah, the ambience, the atmosphere is really wonderful here for the French team.
Merci et félicitations à tous les deux.
And congratulations to all of the French guys that really did well. Of course, there was Joubert who won gold, Préaubert who finished in 6th place, and he put up quite a fight, didn't he? And don't forget Yannick Poncero finished down in 12th place. French team doing well. It's not over yet, the ladies tomorrow, but we're just about ready to get underway now with the medal ceremony for the ice dance, the 3rd medals of this European Figure Skating Championships. And what a wonderful night we've had. It's been a marathon day, but very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, it has indeed, and just congratulations to Isabelle and Olivier. Fantastic.
So here they are, the newly crowned I was jumping the gun there. I thought they were going to announce them out, but it's the medal bearers out onto the ice. And good to see so many people staying here. They've got the cameras out. It's a great photo opportunity. Beautifully staged. Here we go. Doesn't that sound good? Fantastic. There must have been times where they thought this would never happen. Been on the podium once before a couple of years ago, a bronze medal then, and twice in 4th place, but they are top dog, Isabelle Delobel and Olivier Schoenfelder.
So many times I've seen them skate and felt that they've been a bit hard done to on the rules. And the final marks they've got, they've skated brilliantly, always making a great impression for me. And it was all their performance here that counted, every part.
Here they are, they put up a brave fight. By the closest of margins, these two actually won the free dance tonight. They closed the gap, but they'd left themselves just too much to do. Oksana Domnina, Maxim Shabalin for Russia, their 5th European Championships, and they take home the silver medal. Really was a wonderful performance, wasn't it?
Their free dance in particular, you know, when I say about Isabelle and Olivia winning, it's because their golden waltz, because their tango with their program all together was enough to win. But from a free dance point of view, it was really Oksana and Maxim's night.
They're still the favorite with the audience wherever they go, loved everywhere. It was a wonderful program. The world champions, this to be their final competitive season, they say. So it's more than likely we won't see them at the Europeans again, and the European gold medal eludes them. Twice they've been silver medalists, but it's the bronze medal this year for Albina Denkova and Maxim Stavisky for Bulgaria.
And a superb skate for them throughout all parts of this competition. Quality of the top three. Quite amazing.
Now, what a fantastic competition this has been. There's the medals are being presented by Mr. David Dorr. He's the Vice President of the ISU, the International Skating Union. And congratulations too to the ISU. It's been so far we've still got a day of competition to go, but it's been a very well run event.
Like clockwork.
And of course, we should say a thanks to the organising committee here in Warsaw as well, because there will have been an awful lot of hard work put in by a lot of volunteers to make this event run so smoothly. There's going to be a roar now. Just listen. Flowers presented now to all of the medalists. And congratulations will be given by the referee for the event. It really was a fiercely fought battle that went right down to the wire. And I think you're right, Nikki. It sums it up. I think that the French were just so strong in each of the sections. And putting down a good compulsory dance at the beginning, hold it together in the
They were great
original.
in the Golden Waltz, and the tango was superb. And the program, very, very good. But it's so tight, isn't it? 0.31 separates first and second place. It's not settled. This battle will continue.
Absolutely. So here we go. The anthem for the champions, Isabel and Olivier. Just fabulous. Very, very well done to Isabel Delabel and Olivier Schoenfelder. Indeed, to all of the medalists this evening. Well, that wraps it up from Nikki and myself here in Warsaw tonight. We've got the ladies free skating tomorrow, 1:15 for viewers on British Eurosport, 2:15 Central European time. I'll be on my own. Nick has got another job to do. Bye for now.